It's 11 p.m. At Crouch HQ, Incident Manager Steve Kelly is busy preparing for a major job 385 miles away in Scotland.
We've got a vehicle that's gone into a lock. But the problem we've got is we don't know how far that's gone into the lock because it drops off quite steep, so it could be 10 metres in, it could be 100 metres in.
It was 2 weeks ago when a Vauxhall combo van left this rural country road, careered headlong through a stone wall, and plunged straight into the icy waters of Loch Eck, 70 miles west of Glasgow. Incredibly, the driver escaped unharmed. The same can't be said about his van, which now lies in a watery grave at the bottom of Loch Eck. It's vital it's recovered quickly. A diesel vehicle leaking toxins into a beautiful loch is the last thing anyone wants.
We've got divers going up there tomorrow night, we've got road closures going in place tomorrow night. So I'm just checking around the rotator now, getting kit together, everything sorted.
Once over complete and good to go, Steve can head off into the night and get his mammoth journey started. With over 17,000 vehicle recoveries under his belt, in a career spanning almost 30 years, his skill and expertise are essential when complex rescue calls come in. After an epic overnight drive, Steve finally arrives in the tranquil surroundings of the Scottish countryside.
Got here early in the day just to get ahead of the game, really. We're all waiting for the road to be closed at 10 o'clock tonight.
With Loch Eck measuring 7 miles long and up to 100 metres deep, just locating the Vauxhall combo van will be about as easy as spotting the Loch Ness Monster. Steve has hired a local dive team to help with the hunt.
The divers have come up with a fantastic idea. They've borrowed a boat and they're out with a magnet on a rope now. Just sort of searching up and down, see if they can get the magnet to stick to something. It's a bit like a needle in a haystack at the minute.
When a vehicle's submerged in water, you know, it doesn't take much of a current or anything to move it. So it had been there a couple of weeks, so it could have potentially moved a fair bit.
This country road forms part of a major tourist route, so can only be shut after dark. But with no streetlights, it will be pitch black later on. So Steve's desperate to locate the van in daylight.
This isn't really the sort of job you just want to start looking for it and just start in the pitch black, really. You know, you want something to aim for.
After a patient pursuit of the sunken wreck, they may have narrowed Steve's search area.
The divers have had a fantastic hour out in the water. They've got 2 magnets on something metal. If you look at the line of the curve of the road and where the van's gone through the wall, it looks like that's a very good possibility that's our van.
But the loch is the final resting place for many a wreck. So until the divers venture into the depths, Steve can't be sure. In the meantime, boys are left to mark the spot.
Worst case, it's a lump of scrap metal and we're going home with a bit of scrap metal. But yeah, no, it's looking good and it's definitely going to speed the job up tonight if that is the van.
It's 11 p.m. and darkness has descended on Loch Eck. The road is finally being closed, so it's time for Steve and his recovery team to get cracking.
We're getting close now, starting to close down this end. We're just going up the other end to stick the closure on. It's looking like all systems go. Just a matter of everyone talking to each other and seeing where's best to position everything.
Divers first need to search the loch's murky depths to confirm the metal they detected earlier is indeed the Vauxhall combo.
The 2 divers are getting dressed in, just while we get the lights and everything set up, just save a bit of time. And then we're all good to go then, basically.
But to safely carry out a search, they'll need as much light as possible. Steve's fellow recovery op, Kai, has just arrived after travelling up from Leicester. He's come equipped with 2 lighting towers on his low loader. Kai will also carry the van back to base once the job's done.
It's a bit far away from home. Nice to do something different.
Steve directs one of the lighting towers towards the boys placed earlier on the surface.
That kind of lights up this area for them, doesn't it, to get in and out?
Yeah.
And then we bring that one right close to the shore here and get that lighting over. Yeah. Spot on. Perfect. I think 2 was a good shout.
Half an hour later, and with all the safety checks completed, it's the moment of truth.
Okay, check your pens. Good.
Is the van below the boys, or will they have to start the search from scratch? Coming up, a tricky job on the A1 leaves Jay feeling deflated.
Trying to find an air point on it to blow the brakes off.
A nervous wait in Scotland for Steve.
The diver's in the water already. Hopefully he's going to get eyes on it imminently. Confirm or deny whether this is it or not.
And Mary dons her battle gear.
Here we go, we're here, heading into Watford Central. Mary's nemesis.
In a bid to save a stranded bus.
Okay, this is going to be carnage to get this out. How the hell am I going to get it out of there?
It's 4 a.m.
Crouch Recovery, thanks for holding. How can I help?
At Crouch's Kibworth HQ, an early morning call-out has just come in.
We'll put it on a 60-minute ETA and we'll get someone there as soon as possible to deal with the situation.
A fully loaded Arctic is lying stricken on the side of the busy A1 after it went up in flames. And with no hard shoulder, it's blocking one lane. Up with the lark this morning is Rescue Op J, who's been sent to the scene.
We've just been called out to, at this moment in time, all we know is a lorry fire on the A1, whether it's started at the front and it's total burnout or whether it's just a trailer brake fault that's caught fire. But until we get there, we're unsure what we've got. It's quite a busy trunk road, so we've got time critical really. We need to get the road open before rush hour starts.
The road isn't the only worry on Jay's mind.
Obviously it's dark, so visibility is an issue. And so we've had quite a few recovery operators in past years that's been actually killed actually doing the job, so it does bring it home a little bit.
Recovery Op Jay Critch has rescued over 6,000 trucks. In a career spanning almost a decade, he's seen it all. So when there's a tricky recovery, there's no one better to have on the job. Fellow Recovery Op Matt is already on scene with his service van. Fortunately, there's no further risk of fire as Jay reaches the troubled truck.
On this occasion, it was just a small fire underneath the cab. The fire brigade had already attended and nothing had ignited, so it was safe for us to recover, basically. Quite a relief to see that it went a total burnout.
The fire may be out, but Jay and Matt are still working in the middle of a danger zone. Not only do they have to carry out the recovery in the dark, they also have heavy-duty vehicles hurtling past just inches away. While the police have cordoned off one lane of the dual carriageway, with no hard shoulder, the boys are incredibly exposed.
You've got to be aware of the traffic coming past and such like. Even though that we have got the police wheel lane closed, you still got to be careful of that.
Any lapse of concentration could be catastrophic.
I'm very mindful of any job I do like that because a fair few years ago, I were clipped by a drunk driver whilst doing a job with a lane closure from the police. So, yeah, that's always in the back of my mind. you're constantly on your guard with things like that. Because it's so dark, they might not see what's happening.
Despite the danger, the recovery ops bravely get to work on the wounded beast. But it won't be going anywhere under its own steam today. Jay will have to tow it back to its yard, and for that, he's relying on his MAN TGX 640. One of the newest additions to the Crouch fleet, sporting a silver colourway and twin winches. This meaty machine weighs in at 22 tonnes and can pull over 3 times its own weight. With his wrecker in position, first up, Jay needs to get the lame lorry lifted. He uses the remote control to get the underlift in position. Once lined up with the axle, he can begin the pre-lift.
Close part, wasn't it?
With the stricken unit far enough off the ground, they can slide coach stands under each of the front wheels. This will allow them to work safely under the truck. The forks on the underlift need to be slotted securely around the truck's axle. Then Jay and Matt climb underneath to chain the two together. No easy feat when you're lying right next to a live lane.
The police had coned one lane off for us, but you've still got members of the public coming up, motorists coming past at 70 plus miles an hour at times. There's fear there is, and anybody that doesn't fear it, I don't think they should be doing this job, because then I don't think they'd be mindful of what's happening around them. You've got to be cautious of what you're doing and other people around you as well.
Having successfully secured the truck's axle to the underlift, next they need to release the brakes for towing.
So need to pump some air into it now. Hopefully we won't be having fire damage underneath. It's not burnt any air pipes out. It'll just be a case of pumping to release the brakes.
But that might be easier said than done.
Found it.
It's a foreign vehicle, and the air point isn't located in the usual place.
Trying to find an air point on it to blow the brakes off.
Without air in the brakes, this truck isn't going anywhere. So Jay has no choice but to step into the live lane to see if he can locate the air point.
So there was a time where I was on the off side of the vehicle between the unit and the trailer, so you've got to be very mindful of that. There was no hard shoulder, so you have got traffic coming past, and sometimes it can be inches away when HGVs are coming past you as well.
Just as Jay is losing hope. Success. Now he's located the air point, he can finally get the air hooked up. But when he connects the air supply cord to release the brakes...
So Mark is doing out.
Jay hits a major snag.
Pissing air out somewhere.
The hissing sound is not a good sign.
No, we have to wind them off, mate.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do it.
The fire damage that we've got underneath, it's been underneath the cab and it's melted some air pipes. So we've tried to pump air into it to release the brakes and it's not worked, so we've got to manually release the brakes on the tracked unit now.
Could melted air pipes be fast turning Jay's hopes of a speedy recovery into a pipe dream? Back on the banks of Loch Eck in Scotland,
I want to single line that out, that one up there.
it's a nervous time for recovery manager Steve Kelly, who's been tasked with recovering a Vauxhall Combo van from its muddy depths.
Diver's in the water already. Hopefully he's going to get eyes on it imminently. And confirm or deny whether this is it or not. I'm hoping this is it.
But with the water temperature near freezing, time isn't on Steve's side.
The divers, they're on a time scale, how long they can dive for. So, you know, if that was in a deeper part of the lock, their time under the water would have been very much reduced, which means you got less time to look for the vehicle.
The dive supervisor is in constant radio contact with the divers. After an anxious half hour,
Okay, Chris.
finally there's an update.
I think he's on it.
He's on it.
But is this the Vauxhall combo they've been looking for?
The diver's found a vehicle on its roof, wheels in the air. So now he's just making himself familiar with where he's going to attach the chains on the strops. Then we'll get him some gear and he can pull it out. But he else said it's a white Vauxhall combo.
Steve can breathe a sigh of relief.
Just that work earlier has just paid off, hasn't it?
But this is no time to sit back and relax. The hard graft of retrieving the van from the water has only just begun. And for that tricky task, Steve gets straight on to readying up his rotator, which will act as a giant fishing rod. Steve's Scania R-Series is always ready to tackle the unexpected. Equipped with a massive rotating recovery boom, this 42-tonner boasts an offside winch pull capacity of over 75 tons. But can it rise to the occasion and fish the van out from the muddy waters below? Before Steve can claim catch of the day, first the divers need to rig the car for lifting. And he's come up with a nifty way of making the job a little easier.
It's a big thing with a diver not to stress him too much. So if we can run a line, we can slide all the equipment down the line. So literally all he's got to do is pull it down the line and then only work with it once he's at the vehicle. So he's not trying to get down to the vehicle, holding on to winch cables and chains and that sort of stuff.
The diver is at the moment connecting a bridle chain to the back axle. Once it's got that connected, we're going to send the winch hook down this blue line and connect that up, and we'll leave everything connected, diver out the way, and we can do a lift. All fingers crossed, everything should be good.
You've got to rely on them attaching your chains and your winch ropes correctly. In a situation like this, you've got to have full trust in the diver that's underwater because you can't double check anything.
The van is lying upside down, so a set of chains have been hooked up to the rear axle.
The cable's ready for you, Chris.
The winch cable is sent down the rope so it can be attached to the chains. With the divers 20 metres underwater, these extreme conditions are constantly playing on Steve's mind.
At the end of the day, that diver's safety is paramount. We need to keep an eye on him, make sure we're doing everything that he wants us to do. So it just means working closely with these guys.
Winch cable in place and diver safely back up.
He's taken himself completely out of the way, so looks like we're going to get the nod.
It's finally time for Steve to get his rotator ready for the climax of this recovery operation.
Just giving us some extension on the boom and some height on the boom. The van will come towards us ever so slightly, and then it will get to a point where we'll be lifting it out of the water. We want to minimise the amount we're dragging it. This is one of the reasons we bought this truck, just so we can boom out as far as we can and pick this up.
Filled to the brim with muddy silt and water, the van is almost double its normal weight as it slowly reveals itself from the watery depths of the lock.
We've got the right vehicle.
But will the rotator be able to cope with such a heavy load?
The truck will be absolutely stable, but we don't want to be, lifting too much weight that we don't have to, so we'll just bring it out of the water gently.
The crash may have seriously damaged the van's axle. It could give way at any moment, risking injury or worse to Steve and his team. So he's not taking any chances.
Well, it's out of the water, just letting all the water drain out of it as much as we can. So we're just getting ready now to bring it over, and it's going to land on its roof on the road, and we've just got to upright it.
Equipped with his winch remote, Steve finally deems it safe to reel his catch in towards the road.
Looking good. We're on dry land anyway.
His only option is to land it on its roof.
If I was to lower it down at that, and then we can put the slings on it, and it'll roll, yeah, this way, then that way, yeah. So, drop it down in that lane there. I'll bring it over to you, Kai. Spot on.
Once the next stage of the recovery mission is complete,
We've just put some slings around the van now.
it's then a case of righting the vehicle.
What? Has it come out? Did it break the window? Or does windscreen? Well, windscreen's gone. Oh well.
But rolling it over presents Steve with yet another job.
Let's shovel it back in the motor, haven't we? Just be careful, there's glass and that in it. But we'll tidy up here quickly. Sound.
Just an hour and a half after the road was closed, the Vauxhall Combo finally has its four wheels back on the ground. And Steve's relieved it's all gone to plan.
That's it, she's out. It's out, it's upright. Yeah, definitely happy. Yeah, I think the diver's going out on the boat with the magnets earlier. That's made the job, that's just made it 20 times easier, I think. So, credit to them guys.
But before they can think of packing up and heading home, there's some clearing up to be done. No one ever said a road vehicle recovery was glamorous.
But we've got to pick this. This is the silt that's come out of the vehicle. You know, rather than putting it back in, we'll take it back with the car and it'll get disposed of with the car all at the same time, because you never know what's in it. So we'll shovel it back in the vehicle now, while it's right next to it, and then yeah, we'll be ready to load up and get out of here.
Debris cleared, Kai sets about getting the van loaded onto his truck.
So we've got the car out, now it needs recovering. So we're going to pull it on, get our lighting towers on and head home.
Scene fully de-rigged and cleared. Steve can finally head home, proud of a job well done.
It's been a very successful evening. Couldn't really got any better than that. Dive team worked well, all trucks worked well, so yeah, a success, went exactly as planned.
Coming up,
Still morning there, pal.
further frustration for Jay,
Just what you want first thing in the morning.
and the clock is ticking for Mary.
The minute I get round in front of this bus, the pressure's going to be on. I will be blocking the road.
Sure they wound off properly?
Back on the A1 just north of Peterborough, recovery op Jay and his colleague Matt are struggling to shift a massive delivery truck after a fire on its undercarriage left it stricken on one of the busiest sections of the dual carriageway.
Like the next 20 minutes will be really busy, but hopefully we'll be loaded and gone by the time rush hour starts.
But this fully laden beast is in no mood to move in a hurry. And the boys have now hit a major snag.
Normally, you could plumb into the air supply of the unit from our towing vehicle, which will release the brakes for us. But because this has got fire damage on some air pipes underneath the cab, it is one melted. So as we've plumbed into it, air's just leaking everywhere. So you physically got to manually wind the brakes off. Otherwise, we could potentially end up with another fire as you're towing it if the brakes get hot.
That's the last thing Jay needs.
I don't fancy it catching fire on my watch because it really brakes getting off.
The brakes are located right in the depths of the trailer's undercarriage. And it's Matt who's drawn the short straw.
Matt's just underneath, he's just winding the rear brakes off on the tractor unit for us. We plumbed air into the trailer, so we just need to wind the brakes off on that, and then hopefully we can get the road open again.
With it fast getting light, that can't happen too soon. As Matt attempts to manually release the brakes, Jay uses the remote control for his underlift to try and move the Arctic forward.
Nah, they're still binding, they are, pal. You want a ratchet spanner? We've got 24 ratchet if you want it.
Jay quickly rustles up the right tool for the job.
Yeah, pal.
Along with some useful advice.
Yeah, just keep going till they both stop, mate. We know they're done then. Just what you want first thing in the morning.
I've still got a 2-hour drive home.
He wound the brakes off because on HGVs they've got a safety feature of a mechanical spring brake, and you need air supply to release those brakes, and it's basically to stop them if you have an air leak overnight, that the brakes don't release and roll off. Luckily, I didn't have to physically touch them, so yeah, Matty that was there did all that for us.
One lane of the busy A1 has been closed for over an hour, but with Matt flexing his muscles, the winning line is finally in sight.
All right.
Virtually, there.
That's Lewis, mate.
Hey, catch you all that.
No. Thank you.
It's been a race against the clock to get this truck moving again. With the sun coming up, they've done it in the nick of time.
Rush hour traffic's just about to start, so we need to get this lane open quickly.
And an hour and a half after he arrived on scene, Jay can finally prepare to get this rescue on the road.
Just going to get the driver out, get him loaded into my lorry, and we'll head on back to depot with it. Right, pal, jump on out. Quite a relief once we got that and we could tell the police that we're going to be rolling and they can now open the closed off lane. Good, ready to roll.
With everything packed away, it's time to head off to the depot with truck and trailer in tow. In the southeast, there's one motorway that's the bane of many a recovery op's life. The infamous M25. And that's where Mary finds herself this afternoon.
The M25, I think, is best described as just hell on earth. It can just manage to be nigh on stationary 90% of the time just because it can. And there's never even particularly any specific reason. It's got the nickname of being the largest car park in Europe, and it lives up to that on a daily basis, it really does.
Today is no exception.
But now pretty much just crawling at a walking pace, so job needs doing and I want to crack on and get it done, and I can't because I'm sat here.
Mary's on a high priority call out to recover a broken down bus. Transmission failure has left the double-decker sitting like a lame duck in Watford High Street, severely restricting access to a busy bus stop.
Just knowing its location, Watford High Street, it is quite tight and quite congested in there, and lots of street furniture. Part of it's pedestrianised that just buses can go down. It can be quite a handful actually extracting them out of there.
If anyone has the skills to ease a stranded bus out of a tight spot, it's Mary. 14 years in the business, she's clocked up almost 1 million miles and has over 16,000 recoveries under her belt. She may be just the person for the job, but Mary knows navigating Watford will be a massive struggle.
It's not my normal area. I have to rely on my sat-nav, and it's got this centre bit to it, which is like got a peripheral bit round. There's a bit like a bicycle spokes going in, and you get the wrong one and you end up in a multi-storey car park for cars, which is not a good idea. You end up with the one with shooting up and down bollards, which is never a good idea. You know the bit you need is just in there. You can't get just in there because you don't know which one you're supposed to go in.
As she begins her approach, Mary's getting into battle mode.
Here we go, we're heading into Watford Central. Mary's nemesis.
And she soon finds herself in the middle of a motoring melee.
Our bus is in there somewhere. We just got to find out how to get into it.
Modern technology isn't making Mary's life any easier either.
See, my sat-nav is saying go in there, and I don't think I should be going in there. Service road.
With time ticking, Mary decides to risk it.
I don't know where this is taking me. It says it's a service road.
Finally, she spots the double-decker.
It looks like it's right at the front of the bus stop, and I'll guarantee there's probably an island or a post in front of it. Yeah, there is. There's a pavement.
Mary's sorted many a tight situation, but this one has her flummoxed.
Okay, so it's going to be carnage to get this out. How the hell am I going to get it out of there?
First things first, she needs to get parked up. Not so easy on a narrow high street.
Look at this, look. We got the hazard lights on, we're coming back, so he drove right up behind me and up onto the pavement to get past me. Great. Just wait a minute, mate.
To top things off, there's also the great British weather to contend with.
Not happy. I'm going to give this weather 2 minutes because it is just let go. And I mean let go like you wouldn't believe. It is trushing it down with rain.
"20 minutes later, the grey sky has turned blue and Mary's itching to get to work.
Let's see if this thing's got any air, see if she'll roll backwards for me. No air. Absolutely no air. Super duper fadulistics. Let's see if she wants to start. Oh, little short legs. Come on, try and turn over for me. Tell me what you want. Come on, speak to me.
This double-decker's in no mood to chat today. Time for plan B.
Well, I think the only option is to get in front of it and lift it.
But the narrow bus lane will leave Mary with barely any room to manoeuvre.
It's got no air in it, so either way I've got to come in front of it and get air into it if I want to try and roll it back, and I don't know, there's enough incline to make it go back. It doesn't want to start. So the best thing is to just suck it up while there's no other buses about and try and lift it quickly, I guess.
To have any hope of hauling this 12-ton double-decker bus off the high street, Mary will need a good battle plan.
The minute I get round in front of this bus, the pressure's going to be on to get it moved quickly, purely because I will be blocking the road, so it's always worth the tight while taking your time and just prepping everything properly. Once you're on front of it, you're ready to roll with it.
First up, a bit of brute force to remove the half shafts.
One out, one to go. Let's have it, haven't ya? Woo! Bus is going in 2 minutes. All aboard, all aboard.
To further minimise the time she'll spend blocking the road, Mary preps her wrecker.
Here starts the carnage. Set the underlift down into the relatively right position.
And with everything in place,
So now the race against time starts, is I need to get on the front of it, and I'm going to be blocking the high street in Watford, so I've done everything I can do to make it quicker.
All Mary needs to do now is reposition.
Get ready to rumble.
Coming up,
There's buses behind me and they're just gonna have to wait, I think.
Mary's town centre torment goes from bad to worse.
No, you're getting closer. No, 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 no. He's gonna hit me.
In Watford town centre, Recovery Op Mary is wrestling to rescue a broken down double-decker.
This bit, haven't ya? Woo!
After transmission failure left it stranded at a busy bus stop. Battling the high street hazards.
No, lady. That's what we don't like about town centres. All the pedestrians and cyclists.
Mary manoeuvres her truck, inch by careful inch, to line up the underlift with the front of the bus.
Pretty much up against the bollards now, so that's about as good as it's going to get. And possibly a bus will get past there, so put my mirror in case it gives it a go.
Mary's heavy recovery hero is the chunky Volvo FH12 540 Globetrotter XL. This massive 32-ton, 8-wheeler packs some power and should be more than a match for the disabled double-decker. It's also causing a commotion for all the other buses. Never one when you need it, then 3 come along at once.
There's buses behind me and they're just going to have to wait, I think. I don't know if they can still get past or not, but that's for them to work out.
All Mary can do is maintain her focus and get her underlift attached to the bus's axle as quickly as possible.
Now, I have no room. No room.
But there's a problem. Her wrecker is in the wrong position.
Yeah, bag on. I need to change that angle completely.
It's back to square one. As she gets ready to move her motor, Mary is not feeling so merry.
Chaos, as predicted. No, you're getting closer. No, 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 no. Oh my God. He's gonna hit me.
There's barely a hair's breadth between them. But it's the bus that eventually has to admit defeat.
Now, stay still while I move my mirror. Oh, why didn't you wait the 2 seconds it would have took for me to do that? Hey! Yeah. Wouldn't have hurt, would it? Now, let me get out, guys. Because the sooner I get this done, the sooner I'm out of all your way.
After taking a deep breath,
What a dickhead.
Mary can finally get all hooked up. Now she has the underlift lined up at the right angle to the axle.
Just chaining her on now. Make sure we got hold of it.
All that's left now is to pump some air into the bus to release the brakes.
Now, get some air, you bitch.
Watford High Street may have thrown every obstacle in her way, but at least someone's a fan of Mary's handiwork.
Sorry? All right. I find it awkward when people recognise me. At the end of the day, I'm the same person out doing the job I've always done for years. Just, it is nice, but it can be really awkward as well.
Rescuing stranded buses can be pretty awkward too. But finally, Mary's good to go.
Job done. Let's get a show on the road. Let's get out of sunny Watford. See if we don't hit all these bollards and whatever we en route.
But getting out of Watford could prove just as tricky as getting in.
And even when we're ready to go, we can't go because I need to go backwards before I can go forwards, or I'll never clear all these bollards on my left. And I can't because the bus driver behind's having his break.
15 minutes later, the bus driver's back from his break, and Mary finally has the green light to leave the scene.
Right. Is the bus stop going to remain standing when Mary pulls out? Then she has a scooter come towards her on a one-way street. Why not? And we're over enough. Home run is in sight.
As she heads for the depot, Mary can breathe a sigh of relief that her high street horror is finally over.
Put me in the middle of nowhere down the tightest of lanes with mud and whatever, I'm quite happy, but town centres with bollards and people and pedestrians and taxis and buses that want to kill your truck. I said on my way to this job, Watford is my nemesis, and it lived up to it. It totally and utterly lived up to that one.
Next time, a tricky truck is trapped in a trench.
You couldn't have a worse scenario.
And it's pushing a wrecker to the limit.
My truck's sliding.
A broken down bin lorry
I'm just glad it's garden waste and not nappies.
leaves Michael in a foul mood.
Should not be happening on a brand new fucking lorry.
And Mark takes on a horse box single-handedly.